It's funny you mentioned Rogan. I think because I've known Rogan for a long time. Well, I've seen him do stand-up for a long time. I think he's an underrated comic. His latest stuff isn't great because in order to do stand-up at a high level, you need to focus on doing stand-up. And so his focus is in other places. And also, if you're always on stage in front of people who are just happy to see you, you never get a real good judge of what's funny.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's why I often think people's first and second specials are their best, because that's when they're doing it in front of crowds who don't know who the fuck they are. And that's where they cut their teeth on that material, right? But you get to a certain level. Like, I think Rogan is an underrated comic, but an overrated intellect, is what I think. I think if he just did stand-up again, some of his early specials are fucking really funny. Really funny. I also think he's not as smart as he thinks he is.
I don't know if I'm going early enough, but like 2 specials ago, I thought Rogan did a great job, a super great job. I'm about 2 specials ago, I forget. And at the time, his podcast was firing and his UFC gig was firing. And it was like, his fame is crazy. Like, he's an A-list celebrity.
Yeah.
Right there with like Tom Cruise, in my opinion, in terms of fame. Yep. Where he is now is a different place. His comedy has been... His last special, I can't say enough harsh things about. It was an embarrassment. And the whole like don't assume my gender bullshit, like that is, you get better material at the office water cooler.
It's a bit
than Joe Rogan has in his stand-up special.
Here's the thing. It's because he doesn't have to put the same, he's at his club doing stand-up in front of people who are going to laugh at whatever he says. And when he goes to the green room, all those dudes are sucking his dick and telling him how funny he is. And so it's hard to judge. But I think, dude, if he just focused on stand-up again, his early specials are funny as fuck.
You know? But not even had 1% of Joe Rogan's, attention. But I have had enough experience that, like, everyone thinks the harsh comments ruin a person. And that can be true, right? They're really hurtful. They can put people in depression, etc. But the praise can fuck you up too. The praise can make you think everything you say is profound. The praise can make you think that you're smarter than who you are. And I can only imagine what it's like to be Joe Rogan with his level of both attack and praise, making him think he's a genius that some people don't appreciate, or whatever it is that he thinks. It can warp a guy.
I don't think there's any doubt. How do you walk around and everyone's dick riding? And how do you just not take some of that in and be like, well, I guess I am the best?
Right. I want to see him do a new thing. I want to see him do like a whole different kind of thing. I want him to have like a primetime show or something. I would watch him in a sitcom. I would watch him host a I would love to watch him host a reality show. I want him to do trivia, and every time you get a question wrong, he spin kicks you. Like, I want him to do
hilarious.
Like, if they brought him back for Fear
they
Factor,
could call it one and done.
If they brought him back to host Fear Factor again, I'd watch the shit out of that. Like,
well, what was the sitcom he was on with Spade?
News Radio.
News Radio.
Never seen a second of it.
What?
No,
I've never seen News Radio.
I liked it, and I like Joe Rogan in it.
Yeah.
Every so often, Joe Rogan would take his shirt off on that show.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware he was a sleeper fitness dude. Like, he was fit.
But that cast is crazy good.
Andy Dick
Phil
is
Hartman,
on it, right?
Andy Dick, Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman, one of my fucking all-time favorites.
Yeah. R.I.P. Troy McClure, Lionel Hutz, 2 of the funniest characters that have ever been.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
With a gun? Does that?
She killed him in his sleep. But I mean, I don't know who has voiced 2 collectively funnier characters than Troy McClure and Lionel Hutz. Like, from The Simpsons. Like, there's no one close. He was hilarious.
What characters did they voice?
You don't remember? Have you not seen like old Simpsons where
Lionel
like
Hutz
he was like, Lionel Hutz was the one who was like the scammy attorney where and then the other Troy McClure was like, hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may have seen me in such other info shows. It's like, and then he'd be like giving a ridiculous speech about like nuclear plant safety, and they always had funny names for it. That was great. On the stand-up thing with like Rogan, not specific to him. I've never really seen much Rogan stand-up, and I I only listen to his podcast on very rare occasion. Really, just when he has like Shane Gillis and that whole gang on, I'll listen to those because that's funny. It's like good riffing. But a big problem is like even Shane Gillis, who's like top of the world right now in the stand-up community and, you know, selling tickets and whatnot. He just broke some record. Yeah. The problem is like he's funnier on his podcast, which I do listen to, the Matt and Shane Secret podcast, than his stand-up is. Like I've gotten way more laughs from him riffing with Matt McCusker than I get from his stand-up. And I, you know, maybe everyone's different, but I'd rather see these guys like freewheeling and dealing. And that's funnier because you can tell they're making it up on the fly. Tires is very funny.
His TV show is fucking good. And the third season is about to come out. Like that's a huge accomplishment in its own right. To have 3 seasons of a show on Netflix, you got to be doing something right. They'll kick your ass, even if you're beloved.
I think the difference is if you went to Shane's show, you would laugh a lot more.
Definitely.
I think comedy is meant to be watched live. Mm-hmm. You're just going to enjoy it so much more, you know? And podcast, I think, is opposite.
Yeah, I think you're right.
When you do a show, Josh, do you go first and last?
It depends. Like some shows when I do, you know, my son opens for me now. Oh. And so sometimes I'll introduce him. Mm-hmm. But usually I let him go up cold and just eat dicks for a little while.
I mean, that's part of cutting his teeth, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I went to Steve Hofstadter's show. Now, our audience is mad at him because he interrupted a lot, but I went to his show and I thought it was amazing. But more than that, I kind of went almost as a student. Not that I'm trying to do it, but like just watching a professional communicator do a job. And he went up there and he trained the audience. He was the first guy to take the stage and the last. And in training the audience, I wish I could say it funny like he did, but he was talking about what a bad audience is. One that just puts their arms up and says, I doubt you can make me laugh. Like, why? Why are you being so hard to laugh? Like, just be a good audience. And then when the audience like did something, he's like, you guys are going to be great. I can see it. Right. This like positive encouragement, Pavlov shit he's got cooking. And I'm watching him just work us into who he wants us to be. He said we were a great audience. I take great pride in it. And then
he doesn't say that to everyone.
No. It was unique to me. And then all the other less experienced comics went, and then he closed, and he did a great job as like the grand finale to the night. And I was like, holy smokes, right? Like I didn't realize. I'm looking for a more positive word than manipulation, but like the I don't know, the way that he worked the crowd, set every other comedian up for success by going first and then killing it on his own. And it just looked like a master doing his thing, painting his painting. And I'm like, I was kind of impressed by it. It was a good night.
And I like Steve. I've never seen somebody do that. I've seen like, if I know so say it's corporate gig.
Okay.
And those are terrible. If I know that it's going to be a real rough jump out of the chute, I'll go up first for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then I'll bring Jacob up.
Expense reports. What are we doing here, folks?
Brutal.
Is corporate bad because they're not drinking?
So the corporates are bad. Like when you go to those parties, the people, so most of the time, the only person who knows who you are is the person who booked you. They're not going around to the company and saying, who do you want to see? They book who they like.
Okay.
So some people may not like you. Some people in the company may not know who you are. Most people in the company, the lower earners, are there for the free food and the open bar. Yeah. And they're talking your entire set. So corporates can be, and then, you know, you can tell the 5 people who booked you because they're sitting up front like, but then, you know, I did a show for a company and 8 people were watching and the other 300 were at the bar and dancing.
That's got to be a low pressure gig though, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's brutal on your ego, but I mean, because people are actively not paying attention to you. and it's a tough pill to swallow. But then you look at the check and you're like, that's all right. They don't have to listen to me. I don't give a shit.
The check clears.
I worked at Cisco, and this was like during the .com era. Cisco was like the NVIDIA of its day, super successful company, and they got Jerry Seinfeld to come and do a set for us. And our CEO, who is at Cisco, this like celebrity that we're all supposed to worship and just be happy he even visited our campus. How amazing. And he's introducing Seinfeld. And while he does it, he gives him this flip camera. The flip camera was like one of the first vlogging cameras. I don't know, stupid consumer, whatever. And he gives it to Seinfeld, and with a little bit of fanfare, like, hey, I got this for you. And he looks at it, doesn't give a fuck about it. And like hands it to someone to like, don't give this back to me, and does his thing. And the disrespect he showed my CEO made me so happy.
That was the one time you laughed like you're cracking up alone in the audience. I don't give a fuck. After this, I'm gonna fuck
give me a tip calculator. Your CEO's like, it has other functions.
I do think it's absurd how little respect Seinfeld gets from this younger generation of comedians.
Oh, they're always trying to me too him because he had that 17-year-old baddie on his arm. Let the man live.
You're all jealous. I get to slap those around.
These are two different issues, you know. I mean, because look, when people ask me who's in my Mount Rushmore of comics, I'm as a storyteller. I mean, I always say Cosby pre-rape, but then there probably was no pre-rape. It was probably during rape. But
that was when he was at his absolute best, like during the rape.
But as a storyteller, to deny how good, if he's not the best, find me someone who's better.
They learned that in court. Yeah.
It really did help him, didn't it? Yeah. But like,
it's got like a 17-year-old Labrador Retriever dog eyes. We can't keep this guy in there. Look at how cloudy those eyes are. Let him go.
And he pops that eye out when he leaves.
Yeah, I've never really seen Cosby stand up. But I've never liked Seinfeld stand up. Like from what I've seen, it's like this guy seems like he was a good, almost straight man on the show Seinfeld.
He was,
and that's and that's why the show was good, is because that's kind of the crux of it. Is like the comedian is the straight man amongst his insane friend group. But it was never like, I can't recall a scene in Seinfeld where I was like laughing because of Jerry. It was always George, Elaine, Kramer,
Taylor. He was far and away the worst actor.
Yeah.
And comedy is hard to deliver. Mm-hmm. The straight lines are way easier. And the other three are comedic geniuses.
Sure.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is like a fucking genius. So he set them up, and they get to knock it all down. I will say the thing about Seinfeld's stand-up is it just feels dated now.
Number one. Number two. Pizza pie in my eye. Oh my. Just like.